Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Chapter 26. The Television Room. The TV family, together with Charlie and Grandpa Joe, stepped out of the elevator into a room so dazzling bright and dazzling white that they screwed up their eyes in pain and stopped walking. Mr. Wonka handed them each a pair of dark glasses and said, "Put these on quick. And don't take them off in here, whatever you do, as the light can blind you." As soon as Charlie had his dark glasses on, he was able to look around him in comfort. He saw a long, narrow room. The room was painted white all over. Even the floor was white, and there wasn't a speck of dust anywhere. From the ceiling, huge lamps hung down and bathed the room in a brilliant blue-white light. The room was completely bare except at the far ends. At one of these ends there was an enormous camera on wheels, and a whole army of Oompa Loompas was clustering around it, oiling its joints, adjusting its knobs, and polishing its great glass lens. The Oompa Loompas were all dressed in the most extraordinary way. They were wearing bright red spacesuits, complete with helmets and goggles. At least they looked like spacesuits. And they were working in complete silence. Watching them, Charlie experienced a queer sense of danger. There was something dangerous about this whole business, and the Oompa Loompas knew it. There was no chattering or singing among them here, and they moved about over the huge black camera slowly and carefully in their scarlet spacesuits. At the other end of the room, 50 paces away from a single camera, a single Oompa Loompa, also wearing a spacesuit, was sitting at a black table gazing at the screen of a very large television set. "Here we go," said Mr. Wonka, hopping up and down with excitement. "This is the testing room for my latest and greatest invention, television chocolate."
"But what is television chocolate?"
said Mike TV.
"Good heavens, child, stop interrupting me," said Mr. Wonka. "It works by television, and I don't like television myself. I suppose it's all right in small doses, but children never to be able to take it in small doses. They want to sit there all day long and staring at the screen."
"That's me,"
said Mike TV. "Shut up," said Mr. TV.
"Thank you. I shall now tell you how this amazing television set of mine works. But first of all, do you know how the ordinary television works? It is very simple. At one end, where the picture is being taken, there is a large movie camera, and you start photographing something. The photographs are then split up into a million tiny little pieces, which are so small that you can't see them. And these little pieces are shot out into the sky by electricity. In the sky, they go whizzing around all over the place until suddenly they hit the antenna on the roof of someone's house. Then they go flashing down the wire that leads right back into the back of the television set, and in there they get jiggled and joggled around. At least every single one of those million tiny pieces is fitted right back into its place, just like a jigsaw puzzle, and presto! The photographer appears on the screen."
"That isn't exactly how it works," said Mike TV. Picture time. Oh, that's Mike TV with all of his guns. Look, he has them all on them.
"I am a little deaf in my left ear," said Mr. Wonka. "You must forgive me if I didn't hear everything you say."
"I said, that isn't exactly how it works,"
shouted Mike TV.
"You're a nice boy, but you talk too much. Now then, The very first time I saw ordinary television working, I was struck by a tremendous idea. "Look here," I shouted. "If these people can break up a photograph into millions of pieces and send the pieces whizzing through the air and then put them together again at the other end, why can't I do the same thing with a bar of chocolate? Why can't I send a real bar of chocolate whizzing through the air in tiny pieces and then put the pieces back together at the end, all ready to be eaten?"
"Impossible," said Mike TV.
"You think so? Well, watch this. I shall now send a bar of my very best chocolate from one end of this room to the other by television. Get ready there. Bring in the chocolate."
Immediately, 6 Oompa Loompas marched forward, carrying on their shoulders the most enormous bar of chocolate Charlie had ever seen. It was about the size of the mattress he slept on at home. Picture time.
It has to be so big, because whenever you send something by television, it always comes out much smaller than when it was put in. Even with ordinary television, when you photograph a big man, he never comes out on your screen any taller than a pencil, does he? Here we go. Get ready. No, stop. Hold on to everything. You there, Mike TV, stand back. You're too close to the camera. There are dangerous rays coming out of that thing. They could break you up into a million tiny pieces in 1 second. That's why Oompa Loompas are wearing spacesuits. The suit protects them. All right, that's better. Now switch on the TV.
One of the Oompa Loompas caught hold of a large switch and pulled it down. There was a blinding flash.
The chocolate's gone,"
shouted Grandpa Joe, waving his arms. He was quite right. The whole enormous bar of chocolate had disappeared completely into thin air.
"It's on its way," said Mr. Wonka. "It is now rushing through the air over our heads in a million tiny pieces. Quick, come over here."
The screen flickered and lit up. Then suddenly a small bar of chocolate appeared in the middle of the screen.
"Take it,"
shouted Mr. Wonka, growing more and more excited.
"How can you take it?"
said Mike TV.
"It's just a picture on a television screen."
"Charlie Bucket, you take it. Reach out and grab it."
Charlie put out his hand and touched the screen, and suddenly, miraculously, the bar of chocolate came away in his fingers. He was so surprised that he nearly dropped it.
"Eat it! Go on and eat it. It'll be delicious. It's the same bar. It's only gotten smaller on the journey."
"It's absolutely fantastic," gasped Grandpa Joe.
It's a miracle. Just imagine, when I start using this across the country, you'll be sitting at home watching television, and suddenly a commercial will flash on the screen and say, "Eat Wonka's chocolates. They're the best in the world. If you don't believe us, try one for yourself. Now!" And you simply reach out and take one. How about that, eh?
"Terrific," cried Grandpa Joe. "It will change the world." Chapter 27. Mike TV is sent by television. I think that's actually where we're going to stop for today.